PM Psycho. PG in college, okay. Postgraduate, I assume. Marwadi University, Nepal, College, Kalinga Institute, APC College. It seems, as of now, it seems 99% are institutions, educational institutions, okay. Stake market risk, that's risk. MCA in college. So once again, MCA in college, I believe, is not your organization, right? You may be an MCA student there. Good. Mangalore Institute of Technology, IGNOU. All right. 99.99% it seems is educational institutes. Good. Before Dr. Ritika takes it over to start the proceedings, I would like to say we have only 1 hour. This topic is big, right? At least the seeds are being sown now. But please feel free to be in touch with me. All risks that you mentioned here, and other than that, perhaps everyone didn't mention, right? For X, Y, Z reason, please feel free to write to me. I will be able to help you all on these risks. Thank you very much.
Okay. Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, Ayushi, we can start.
Okay. So, a very pleasant good evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, in association with Computer Science Chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Consultants Network Affinity, Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Life Member Affinity, Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Inter-Society Relations Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi Section, Industry Relations and Site Standing Committees of IEEE Delhi Section, with the associations CSI, Safa Society, ICE Delhi Section, and IEEE Delhi Center. Also, IEEE Communication Society Delhi Chapter as technical collaborator welcomes you all to this webinar on the topic The Art of Managing Risk Effectively in 2022. According to Naved Abdali, don't be fearful of risk, understand them, and manage and maximize them to acceptable level. This quote indicates how we face risk and which are inevitable in every sphere of life at any time instantly. There is a lot of negativity around us, especially during this extended COVID-19 pandemic period and associated risk. WEF, World Economic Forum, in its Global Risk Report 2022, has also highlighted the three important issues. First, social cohesion erosion. Second, livelihood crisis. And third, mental health deterioration. These issues may become a great challenge for the mankind, especially during the year 2022. The webinar to discuss finding cure and great risk. The discussions will also facilitate to focus on your risk management. Most management systems recommend for annual review of your risk. I would like to take this opportunity firstly to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I welcome you all. Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, Chairperson, Consultants Network Affinity Group and former Chairperson, IEEE Delhi Section. I also request Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, sir, to please commence this session with his welcome address. Please, sir. Sir, you are not audible. Kindly unmute yourself, please, sir.
Yes, because I connected twice, so
Yes.
one I had to drop. This one was
Now you are audible. Good evening, sir.
Yes,
You are
no
audible,
problem.
sir.
I thought my voice will directly go over there to all the people, including Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Institute. Anyway, welcome Mr. Damandev Sud again. I was remembering actually right from 2020. I don't know whether it was February 20 or not. We brought him to NSUT. He was very busy. He was to give a lecture online also. That was also preceding our physical lecture.
It
People
was
were not
February.
knowing.
It
He
was
showed
February.
specifically. While cupping also, you will put like this, not your hand in front of you or an handkerchief. From those days we started. So now it is 2022. In between we have passed through pandemic. Always the risky things are being taken care of. How the system is robust, how much system is resilient, everything he has talked up. And today when we understand, probably from 1st April, so many things will be getting opened. Hopefully everything will be there. 3.5 or 4 wave will not come, but over the mankind, some other wave is there in another part of the universe. Very unfortunate. People are going through that one. When we see lots of people are leaving their own country, going outside,
Yeah.
we like to see that they also stay properly. Risk is there, but they manage the system well. So with these words, I'm stopping. I have no other words to talk, but we'll like to hear Daman with a new enthu for this particular topic on the issue of risk, of art of risk management effectively. Every word has been chosen with a proper sense, but I believe it is not limited to 2022, maybe later on also, but with new flavors coming. Over to
Exactly.
Aishi.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I now request Professor M.N. Hooda, sir, Director, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, to address the participants with his inspiring words. Please, sir.
Good evening to one and all.
Good
I
evening.
take this opportunity to welcome my friend and valued speaker for today's program, Mr. Daman, who is also the chairperson of IEEE Computer Society Delhi chapter. So thank you so much, Mr. Daman, for sparing your valuable time and being with us to share your experience. I have been benefiting myself, and many of our participants have got benefited with your prior sessions on business continuity, resilience, and many activities related to fact checking the month's thermometer. And I'm sure this topic, which is yet again a very important topic, again the participants will get benefited. I also take this opportunity to pay my gratitude to all the heads, chairpersons of the professional societies who have collaborated. We have Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, sir. We have Professor Subramaniam Krishnamurthy. Mr. Vyas will be joining soon. So thank you so much to all of you and my participants from different parts of the country and abroad. So participants, this is our 64th webinar series under IEEE Delhi section and BBI camp, along with 10 plus society chapters of IEEE Delhi section and other premier professional societies. Names of all have already been enlisted by convener of the webinar, Ayushi. So I will not list them. So I take this opportunity to welcome you all in this webinar, 64th webinar. The webinar series are conducted at least once and every week, and this week it is the second webinar. The topic which has been chosen is very, very important, not only for this reason that as a technologist, we always talk about risk. We always try to find out anticipate the risk that what as a student of computer science, I have taught close to 12, 13 years, the paper software engineering, project management, and keep on teaching that our triple M plan, risk mitigation, risk monitoring, and then risk management is an important aspect. And then of late, when I studied business continuity, then I realized that this risk management is not limited to the project management plan, is multifold, and there are many other concerns. And those organizations who manages their risk better are more sustainable, earn more confidence from their stakeholder, from their customers, and can have better business. Those organizations who are not in a position to manage their risk better, forecast first, mitigate it, so they will be always in problem. And that's how it is said that the maturity of the processes, maturity of overall the organization will be judged with their behavior in a crisis. Had they anticipated that risk? Had they anticipated the kind of the loopholes or the vulnerabilities in the system which may bring them in trouble? And if that has been done, then probably they have a plan well in place that will be activated, that will be put in place once there is a risk which will be coming. And we have seen that when 9/11 attack was there on WTC, and the largest possible hit in the world, and that to the first time, there was a company who within 30 minutes came back to their customers and said, okay, we have all planned and ready to serve you, don't worry, this tower is down, this area is down, but from another area will be serving you. That kind of risk mitigation, monitoring and management we want.
Yeah.
And risk are all around. The latest last 3 4 day risk, you understand with which mindset and the psychology our students held up at Ukraine is going on, and who knew that to this extent this fight will be. Even probably Ukraine was not anticipating this, and that's how many countries could not evacuate their citizens at that moment of time, and then multiple ways are being explored. So risk is very important, and how better we manage it, that particularly in the backdrop of the COVID-19, the all disastrous activities are happening in and around us. To which extent we are more process oriented, to which extent we are more prepared, that is a matter of concern. And for that particular purpose only, I have requested, invited my friend Mr. Daman, who will be enlightening us and telling us that how best to ensure that business can, how best to ensure in which way that our whatever plan is, that must work irrespective of any unforeseen event which might have happened. So thank you so much. And I also request to all the participants to please register for forthcoming webinars. There are 4 webinars which are still open for registrations for subsequent Saturdays, and keep attending our program, because the people keep on attending in big strength, and that is the kind of motivation to all of us.
Exactly.
So thank you so much to all of you.
Exactly.
Over to you, Yushi.
Thank you so much, sir. That was totally inspiring for all of us. So I now welcome amongst us our expert speaker, Mr. Daman Dev Sood, sir, FBCS, FBCI, CBCI, SMI MAIMA, ISO 22301 LA, and expert chairperson, Computer Society Chapter, IEEE Delhi Section, IEEE Ambassador, and International Resilience Trainer. Daman sir is an international resilience trainer and consultant. He holds over 7,500 hours of training teaching experience. He has served various companies in industry sectors in over 20 countries as trainer, consultant, auditor. Daman sir is an international speaker of repute and an author. He has won multiple national and global awards. He has spent over 35 years in the industry and over 16 years in resilience, like organizational resilience, BCM, risk management, crisis management, etc. These are the various domains where Daman sir has practiced. Daman sir is a member of IEEE Delhi Section XECOM, chair of the CS chapter, a senior member of IEEE and IEEE ambassador. He is a fellow of BCI, BCS, member of AIMA, and member of CSI. I welcome you to this session today, sir. It is a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you
I
very
now
much.
request you to please enlighten the house. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. So good evening once again, all seniors and participants. Let me start by sharing my screen. I hope you can see it, which is not supposed to be here. I believe this is right. Someone say yes, no, please. You can see my...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see your screen, sir.
Once again, good evening. And I'm going to be a bit fast. The objective of the session is to sow the seeds. Risk management is forever. It's a very long, big activity. So stay in touch with me even after the webinar. Ask any questions, seek any help. I'm happy to help anyone and everyone. My profile was read, so I'll go fast. Just an enhancement that by number of hours, I've crossed 10,000 in teaching and training experience. I've got 2 books. My experiments with BCM released in November last year. Third one on 20th of May this year, and the fourth one on 11th of November. These 2 are guaranteed this year. First poll. I hope poll are built into the system. Great, fast, wow. Can you start using your fingers? Where will you rate yourself with respect to knowledge in risk management at this point when we are starting the discussions? Beginner, professional, specialist, expert, master. My response gone. Please type in. In about 30 seconds, we should close all polls. Then share the results. The session is about risk management. Someone has typed in fresher/beginner. Please answer, respond on the poll. And we can close the poll now and share the results, please. One is beginner. Okay. One more response on beginner. Can we close the poll and share the results, please? Another one, beginner. It seems beginner is a major chunk here. Can I see the results, please? Or any challenge in sharing the results? Is anyone else able to see the results? So
No,
results
sir, we
still not
cannot
available.
see the we cannot see the results, sir.
Who is monitoring this? Who is managing?
Sir, we'll just sort it out. I have just connected. Just give me mini seconds.
Okay, okay. So this also is one of the risks in this webinar. Technology not working well, or whether we people. It may be me who is coordinating, who is either missing the point or is some challenge with the connectivity, right? I personally, if I share with you all, I was in hospital almost throughout the day. There was a possibility of me requesting to postpone this session. That managed. About an hour ago, I was back home from hospital, but I still have my father-in-law is sick. I've been taking care of them. And that is not a physical challenge, that's a mental challenge, which means that bout can start any moment. This risk I still have. And generally, I won't have any management about that. We may have some risks like this also in life, whether personal or professional life. Some risks we can manage to an extent, but some risks for his bouts, when does it happen starting? We do not have any control. There is no cycle about that. There is no logic behind that. So my suggestion, we move on. Roughly, we saw most of the responses were option A, beginner, which is fine. Learning is lifelong. I'm a lifelong learner myself, so don't worry about it. I'll move on. I wish to play a short movie which will talk a lot about risk. So once again, I'll play and stop. Someone has to confirm that audio, video, both are clear.
Yes, sir.
What is a risk?
Clear, sir. Audio B, video B.
I'm not going to
Both
talk
are
about
clear.
Both clear? Great,
Yes, sir.
great. Another risk managed well. Technology has worked well. Great.
What is a risk? In this video, we are not going to talk about the definition of risk, because that is not the issue. Just pick one. Here you go. Risk is an effect of uncertainty on objectives. The main issue is that during risk sessions, confusions will arise on the sequence: risk, causes, and effects. When is something a risk? And when is something a cause or an effect? Don't worry, let's explain this step by step. Most important is that risks have an effect on objectives. Consequently, if you don't have objectives defined, then it is not very useful to identify risks. Let's take Charlie, for example. One of his daily objectives is to arrive at work in time. With this objective in mind, what risks do you see? In other words, what undesirable events can happen that will hinder Charlie from arriving at work safely and on time? One might say heavy rain, but is this a risk? Heavy rain causes a decrease in road visibility, and that in turn causes an accident. That accident will cause Charlie to be late for work. Let's investigate this event tree. The difficult part is to pinpoint which event we identify as the risk. The last event, being late for work, is the objective. Well, it's the opposite of what you want to achieve, but it's directly linked. So we cannot say that being late for work is the risk. The question is, what caused you to be late? In this case, it is you being involved in an accident. We can then identify this cause of the objective as a risk. The effect of the risk having an accident is being late for work, and the cause of the risk is decreased visibility of the road. The accident has a direct effect on the objective, while heavy rain is an indirect cause. You could also identify more causes and effects for the same risk. Let's try another one. So someone mentions being late as a risk, but he also mentions that it's due to heavy congestion. During a risk brainstorm, we are bound to have risks being mentioned that are actually objectives. Most common examples are project goes over budget, project gets delayed, reputation damage, and employee gets injured. All of these are goals of the project. You want the project to be done within time and budget, and with minimal human injury. These goals are already defined as impact classes you score the risks on. But don't worry when someone raises objectives or goals as risks, because we can extract the causes of these risks as the actual risks. In our case, the risk is traffic congestion. Other examples of risks are, for example, this one, or this one. So here are the takeaways. Filter out the risks that are objectives, and pick their causes as the risks. Ask yourself if the risk has a direct negative effect on the objective. Identify follow-up events that will eventually lead to affecting the objective. The event that has a direct effect on the objective will be your risk. Most importantly, nothing is wrong and all inputs are valuable. Sometimes you just need to drill down and analyze to get the proper risk description. Don't forget, the more often participants get involved in risk assessments, the better they get in identifying risks, causes, and effects. So make it more fun for them and get started with Risk ID, the collaborative risk management tool.
I hope you can see my screen once again.
Yes, sir, we
Great.
can see.
I hope all doubts are clear. Everyone is going to select the last option now, Master on Risk Management. Quickly, if anyone says, this is still not clear to me, what is risk, what is effect, what is objective? I want to see that. I am the first one, by the way. It's not clear to me. Pretty clear. One response, okay. Anyone else? Not clear, all right. Not clear, second. Okay, few more, please. Not clear. Third. Don't worry. I'm like you. Okay. Don't worry. But do something. As long as you do something, that's okay. That's acceptable. Let's not become pigeons in life. That's a lesson to be learned in risk management from animals. So, story, no scientific ground behind it. That when a pigeon sees a cat, it closes its eyes. I hope you can see my eyes. I'm a pigeon. You all are cats. I don't see any cat because I have closed my eyes. The rest doesn't go. Actually, it becomes very easy for cat to jump and eat me. So let's not become pigeons when it comes to risk management. What it means, first point in art of managing risks this year or the next year or the following years. The first point is to admit. If I need help, I should seek help. You may still say no, but there's a possibility of yes only if I first tell you that I need help. So that is the first point and the most important point. Even if you pick up one point today from 1 hour session, that'll be a great success. There is a standard, ISO 31000 about risk management, and the current version is 2018. So keep that in mind. Few other management systems and standards which talk about risk management. So we see 9001 is quality management system, 14001 environment management system, 27001 information security management system, 22301 about business continuity management, and 22316 organizational resilience. The only one difference is that 9001, 14001, 27001, and 22301 are certifiable standards. 22316, which is organizational resilience, as well as ISO 31000, which is about risk management. These two are not certifiable. Detailed discussions can be done later. Quickly look at some terms when we talk of risk management and taken from ISO 31000 directly. Risk is the effect of uncertainty on objectives. Risk management is called coordinated activities. This point is very important. This itself tells us that one person cannot do it. We all need to. And that's what the message in the video also, if you would recollect. Coordinated activities to direct and control an organization with regard to risk or risks. Interested party, person or organization that can be affected by, or perceive themselves to be affected by a decision or activity. So I could be an interested party for you. You could be an interested party for me. The whole world could be interested party for me. In our approach today, specifically risk management, but any program in any organization, we need to be reasonable and practicable. Risk source is element which alone or in combination has the potential to give rise to a risk. Few more terms, control. When we say mitigation, that is also known as control. Measures that maintains or modifies risk. Even if we are able to maintain our risk at the level, that is also risk management, and that's good. Consequence is outcome of an event affecting objectives, and likelihood is the chance of something happening. In the past, we used to use a term called probability. Today, we use probability less when we talk of risk management. I'm not talking of mathematics. We use likelihood more than that. Again, some reasoning I can provide, but today when we go deep into this. Simplest view of risk management is from this way. You need to find or list, then likelihood and impact, and then control. You need to implement controls, which means you reduce your risk or the effect of the risk. So 3 steps: identify, evaluate, and mitigate. Simplest view. While, as Professor Hoda was saying, this is not one-time activity. Cycle is a little bigger than this. Continual monitoring and improvement has to be done. Risk management is not one-time activity. So this is comprehensive view when I say simplest is this, identify, evaluate, mitigate, but there's a lot more to do this about this. And actually, we use a term called risk management system. Then we have to look at this diagram from ISO 31000 once again. The simplest view is only the clause 6 of that standard. And there are two more clauses, 4 and 5. Once again, detailed discussions when we start implementing. Today, we are just sowing the seeds. Paul 2, can you launch, please? What is your view about risk management, operational risk management, and enterprise risk management? Three options, all are same. I do not know. I understand. The three are different. Please type in your responses. And my response gone. In 30 seconds, please close the poll and share the results with us. Risk management. Oh, okay, someone is still typing. I don't know what is the reason. Are you not able to see the polls?
Your polls are visible.
Some people are still typing, I believe. While there's nothing wrong in typing, but when the system calculates the percentages for responses, those would be skewed. Your responses will not be included there. Please close and share the results with us. And I believe everyone can see the results as well. 116 people have not responded. Please keep doing this. This makes it interactive and the results become meaningful. All are same, some people saying, but maximum people are saying, I understand the three are different. So that's right. And I assume that it's not just by name you say these are different, right? Let's move on with our discussions. Risk management is coordinated activities to direct and control an organization with respect to risks. We had seen this earlier also, the definition from ISO 31000. Operational risk management, the definition I picked up is from Wikipedia. Oversight of operational risk. So someday we will talk of these separately also. What is risk, what is operational risk, and what are other different types of risks in the world, including the risk of loss resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes and systems, human factors, or external events. Simplest way, I can say there's only one type of risk, according to me, operational risk, because it covers all. What is left? If we say inadequate or failed internal processes and systems, human factors, or external events. So all are covered generally. Anything that will have impact on my operations, as simple as that. In enterprise risk management, again picked up from Wikipedia, a risk-based approach to managing an enterprise, integrating concepts of internal control, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, some people would understand that, data protection, and strategy planning. This is enterprise risk management. Don't be surprised if you come to know another term called IRM, integrated risk management. Someday we'll talk about that also. Quick look at this diagram. I can spend up to an hour also just on this one slide. The depth. In short, assume there was a risk of me not being able to come to this webinar because I was at hospital with my father-in-law. I told you. What could be the mitigation? By the way, this had happened once earlier also on the same platform, and I just requested on that evening, Professor Hura, please reschedule this webinar. We could say
it was done successfully.
Sorry?
It was done successfully. So our risk management plan was in place.
Right. Yes, right. Can you have some other person speaking on this? Before rescheduling, we could attempt that. one speaker is not available, the planned speaker, but can we have someone else? Possible. We could do that. Reschedule. We could do the same original speaker on that day. If we say today, that could have happened, and perhaps I wouldn't have given him enough time notice. At 6 o'clock, I say, sorry, I have not been able to come back. Right? Perhaps the only mitigation would be to reschedule then, or change the topic, ask someone else to speak on that topic, so that we still have participants who had spared their time, blocked their time. We respect that. Someone else speaks on a different topic. These are the ways of managing. Assume once again. We could say, keeping that topic same, the art of managing risks in 2022. Someone else says, with request from Professor Huda, yes, okay, I'm happy to do the session. But there's a risk that that person wouldn't understand. Not necessarily. He or she doesn't have my slides, doesn't have my mind. What was I going to speak? It may be different. We had mentioned in the invitation what would be covered, and that person may not be able to. So we manage one risk by asking another person to speak, but that may give rise to another risk. We need to manage that risk also. In managing that risk, we may give rise to another risk. So we can go quite deep. The example taken is from this current risk or the crisis that has continued for about 2 years across globe. COVID-19 pandemic started. That was the risk, sorry. And mitigation was lockdowns announced by the government. Simple mitigation take done. But that gave rise to another risk, which is loss of business, livelihoods. Who came to mitigation? The organization said work from home is the solution or the mitigation. But that gave rise to multiple risks. Work from home, physical security, information security, fatigue, stress, legality, sedimentary lifestyle. These are only few. In my research, which is over 100 surveys across globe, companies and countries, 2,000 people, we have listed at least 10. Mitigation of some, not all of these risks. Work from home. Information security, that's I've listed here. What do we do? A little is possible through computers, through applications, through systems. A little is asking people to sign NDAs once again, right? Some change in the policies, that policies or office will be applicable at your home also, Daman. Up to an extent, that mitigation was done. Okay. Then when return started, some companies have done that, some companies are waiting, and we was discussing, Professor Mukhopadhyay had said that perhaps April onwards, a lot is opening up. Lot more is opening up. And that may be giving rise to more risks. Virus spread due to proximity. So mitigation is safe separation distance. Now, there is, I'm sure all of us have seen, right? Distance to be maintained, whether we are in a shop, in a mall, in office. One seat, second one is blank, spare, not to be used, and then third one, which may have impact. Now, less people will be working in the office. So reduce manpower in the office. So what do? Keep doing, keep going deep. The last one I want to show, quarantine. The moment I'm having some symptoms, or if I'm positive, the month quarantine. What does that mean? Loss of productivity. Now, this is the challenge actually. My views highly reserved with respect to work from home, and I have written a lot around that. Someday we can talk about that as well. But in sessions, we have done those polls, those surveys. Even at this platform, we have taken the inputs a couple of times. People say productivity has gone up. I believe no. The risk is now people are working 18 hours, 15 hours, doing more. Productivity is still same if you use the formula. Output or amount of output divided by number of hours. It may be same. So that is the risk. Keep going deep. You say, no, Daman, we are not expecting you to work if you're sick. By the way, people are saying, sick, you're at home, Daman, work from home. As simple as that. You only have symptoms, or you have just come positive. You're still able to work. Otherwise, 16, 15 days, whatever is the quarantine periods, person is not working. Calculate your worst case scenario, please. Expectation is due to a pandemic, and we have been lucky, the whole world, that even this one, which appears to be the worst pandemic so far, it has not become that 70% people are missing or not able to work for 15 days. Multiply by average salary. You still need to pay the salary. I hope no one says no, we won't pay salary if you are sick the month. So that is the cost of managing, and still doesn't involve the medical bills. Some organizations paid for vaccination also when it was not free. Not only for me, for my family also. Some went up to their contractors also, etc. etc. Some companies paid for hospitalization charges also. Include that also. That is your worst case scenario. And then think, can you, your organization, do this again next year or a year later, whenever it happens, similar or even worse pandemic than this happens. So this is the depth of risk management I was talking about on this. Poll 3 coming up. Can you please launch this? Are you aware of World Economic Forum Global Risk Report? 4 options. Yes, yes, and I have been using this. No, never heard of this. And my response gone. Maximum participation requested, please. I would say 100%. We should reach that point. Keep it interactive. That enhances our learning as well as retention experience. And in 30 seconds, please close and share the results with us all. Are you aware of WEF, World Economic Forum? I'm not saying WWF. I'm saying WEF, Global Risk Report. Yes, yes, and I've been using this. No, and the last option, D, is never heard of this. Results in front of us. Maximum is yes, but still about 109 people have not participated. Please do that. That increases the quality of our surveys or the research that we are doing. Yes, and I have been using, some people are saying 15, right? And no also is big number, 33, but the biggest we see is yes. Great. Thank you very much. So let's have a quick look at this report as well. When we are talking of the art of managing risks. Question, this is not a poll, so definitely everyone has to type in the chat box. What will be top risks in 2022 according to you? Portion of that we had done before we started the webinar also, but your chance, opportunity to type in once again. Top risks, I had said only one, but here you can type more than one if you wish. But assume job is first one, unemployment is second, cybersecurity of organization, shifting back to office, unemployment, job, good health with job, okay, info loss, bad economy, sorry, unemployment. Okay. But so far, once again, everyone has been typing one. This question was top risks. So you could have typed in more than one also, if you thought. Great. Personal growth also coming up. Thank you very much. Keep participating. Few more questions or polls may come up for you. So this is how this report looks like for this year. Every year this report is published, and for anyone who wants to be managing risks, that's a good starting point. That's a very good resource. Top 4, social cohesion erosion. Second one, livelihood crises. And the third one, mental health deterioration. So these are very important findings actually. Till last year, perhaps 2 years ago, we wouldn't have paid so much attention to these. It is very important, especially repeating when we have been talking of either work from home continued for long, or even if some companies are now saying hybrid operations or hybrid working. Hybrid still means there is some portion working at home. All these three, and especially number one, number three, become very important. There have been cases of stress. Psychologists are telling me, Daman, my cases, number of people coming to them have increased. What does that mean? There is some negative impact of working from home. While we manage one risk, but that has given risk to rise to another risk, mental health. Number of divorces, not necessarily in India, but many other countries have increased. Number of home violences have increased. Once again, perhaps not in 1, 2, 3 other countries, many more countries. So we should keep these in mind. I also bring your attention to what I did last year in August after a global survey. Along with 6 other thought leaders in the world, we produced a global emotional impact assessment report, which is in line with the third one, mental health deterioration. And my suggestion, recommendation to all organizations is to conduct this assessment for themselves now onwards every year. That's part of risk management, according to me. So that may be added to the art if you wanted to discuss that art. This is how it looks like. While this is not directly from the report, another source, but the basis is the World Economic Forum report. Quick look. What we see is social cohesion. This is how these three had come up at the top, right? Due to time constraints today, we have kept 1 hour only. I'm not going deep into each one of those, but this report is freely available to everyone. So please download and use. This was one of the question given to the participants. Identify the most severe risks on global scale, globally, for next 10 years. So this is what the response is according to the World Economic Forum report. Climate action failure, extreme weather, and biodiversity loss. So it's not IT, it's not job loss globally. We cannot forget that. Slowly, we need to come back to our country, our state, our city, my organization, and me personally also, right? But this is a good starting point at a global level. Social cohesion erosion, livelihood crisis, infectious diseases, a pandemic. Some people have been saying pandemic, pandemic, pandemic. No, it's coming at number 6 only, it seems, globally. I'm not saying forget about it. We still need to continue. Whether phase 4, phase 3 is over, opening up, but those good practices that we started with, we must continue with. Human environmental damage, natural resource crises linked with the current political crisis in the world was something related to a natural resource, which is the oil and gas sector. Debt crises and geo-economic confrontation. Perhaps this is where number 10, but it seems to be number 1 now. The report was produced about 3 months ago. Within next 0 to 2 years, quick look. The top is extreme weather for next 2 years. Livelihood crisis number 2, and we go up to asset bubble burst, digital inequality. So far, within the United Nations SDGs, I hope everyone is aware of, there are 17 SDGs. There was something on equality or inequality, but that's what we were talking about, gender equality. Here is economic, digital inequality also we need to look at. That risk seems to be coming up within next 2 years. If you look at 2 to 5 years, bit difference. Climate action still remains at top, extreme weather. And if you go at bottom, still asset bubble burst, but biodiversity loss also has appeared. Cybersecurity is number 7, it seems. And if you look at 5 to 10 years, at top is climate action failure. So this seems climate action failure. This is a bit different from what we used to talk about environment, right? Or global warming. This is not global warming. This is failure of our action towards that. That's the big risk now being accepted. Extreme weather, we know, last 5, 6, 7 years, all parts of the
Yes.
world, not only one
Yes, so
country.
there was some
Extreme
break
weather
from
conditions.
your side, sir. Daman sir.
There is a break.
There is no break.
Yeah, there was some
You are
glitch
audible.
from your end, sir.
Maybe connectivity challenge in between. Is it okay now?
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
audible, sir, audible.
Thank you very much. Some predictions for 2022. So the recording will be available to you. That has been said by the organizers already. We are not able to spend a lot of time on each one of those, but please have a quick look at those red flashing. Rich countries will move from pandemic to endemic phase. That's good, right? So these are not the risks necessarily, these are the predictions. Some changes may happen, but that may be a risk also. Ransomware ramps up, that's a risk. Next one, climate change is back in the spotlight. Growing influence of ESG factors. This is a new buzzword in the world, but today we are not discussing about it. I'll be happy to come back on ESG as well. Increased volatility and onshoring trend continues. Interest rates will go up, good, bad, ugly, depending on your perspective. Supply chain disruptions ease off, but slowly. I hope most, if not all, remember a big supply chain event last year within the COVID-19 pandemic, the Suez Canal incident. And a huge noise was made about that. Oh my God, this is the biggest supply chain risk in the world now. My views are a bit different. It was a hoax, according to me. And I have spoken to many supply chain management experts, supply chain risk management experts. Most of them are agreeing to that it was perhaps created or hype created by media. Another good source, some of you once again may know this, there is an entity or an organization called Institute of Internal Auditors. The moment we talk of risk, the moment we talk of BCM, Professor Hoda had spoken about business continuity also. The moment we talk of risks and BCM, I'm not talking all, what comes to mind is internal audit or audit, and there is an Institute of Internal Audits. This is their current report. This year, a report called On Risk. According to them, top 12 risks, cybersecurity. So this is different from what World Economic Forum report has said. Talent management, both perhaps didn't appear there. Organizational governance, data privacy is a big risk. Everyone would agree. Culture, economic and political volatility. Next six, number 7 to 12, according to this IIA, Institute of Internal Auditors. Again, it's a global entity or organization. Chain in regulatory environment, change, my mistake, typing. Supplier and vendor management. So supply chain still continues. Disruptive innovation, we all so far had been saying innovation is required in the world. Now we are saying disruptive innovation becomes a risk. Social sustainability, supply chain disruption coming to in two different ways. Supplier and vendor management is a risk, and supply chain disruption also is a risk. And 12th, according to IAA report for 2022 only, environmental sustainability. The topic was art of managing risks. And I'm saying this is a big topic. This is a lifelong journey. Risk management is not one day activity or once upon a time activity. The art I'm saying is in identification itself, which is the first step. We had seen 3: identify, evaluate, and mitigate. Even if we do the first one well, we would be doing well on risk management. So that is, I'm saying, the sources of identifying. Concept says identify all possible risks for yourself, but no one knows all. So identify as many as possible. I'm just quickly showing you the sources according to me. Internal discussions, we already know something. No one is zero on risk management. Existing risk register in your organization, that's the starting point. Then webinars like this one, even if you didn't know, some of you, World Economic Forum has shown some risks for next 2, 5, and 10 years, and IIA report has shown 12 possible risks for or top 12 risks for 2022. So webinars, seminars, summits, conferences, good sources, consultants and advisors, someone like me can help you. The report that we have talked about, BCI is Business Continuity Institute. They publish Horizon Scan reports every year. There are books about risk management. Keep reading blogs and this IIA report that I already said. Supply chain disruption and predictive risk intelligence from a company in India called MidCat. There are advisories, I'm just naming one, but they have something called predictive risk intelligence. So even the AI, and VR, and few other ML, etc., all being used in risk management also today. Endless story and endless improvements. Very important point, and especially because Professor Hoda also mentioned about business continuity. This is the best, according to me, that any country could have had, that the Prime Minister of the country talked about business continuity management, which has risk management within it. 6th April 2020, in his address, he asked the ministries to develop business continuity plans. My recommendation is not only ministries, all organizations in any sector, government or public, any industry sector, small, medium, large, simple or complex, they must implement business continuity. Can you launch? Poll 4, please. What should be the effect of such call by the Prime Minister of a country? 4 options. Quickly, your responses, please. This is just a political stunt by any government. Call is for the ministries, so they should develop BC plan. This is a wake-up call for all countries. All organizations must implement BCM. And option D, only large corporates need BCM. My response, gone, submitted. I'm repeating. We all play a role within my life, within my company, within my organization, within my city, within my state, within my country, and within my world. We all have only one. We all play a role. We must do our bit. And I have written to Prime Minister Modi 3 times at least that you asked, but please keep checking the effectiveness also, result also. Tomorrow, Sunday, is Man Ki Baat. I will not be able to attend it. But for this Man Ki Baat, I have written 6 inputs to the Prime Minister, including risk management, business continuity management, operational resilience, organizational resilience, and there is something. If you talk positive about our country, India, specifically India, I'm saying now, while we know that people are attending the webinar from other countries also, the ease of doing business index, where India has improved a lot in last few years or so. That index is calculated by the World Bank. And there are some parameters, but the water management is not one of those parameters. So that's my input to him. Well, we are seeing, for example, in India, now even semiconductor industry, chip manufacturing happening, hopefully, will start in India. But people do not understand. Chip manufacturing uses perhaps the maximum amount of water and pollutes also. But in ease of doing business, water or availability of water, good water or water management is not even a parameter. So that's input has been given. Results of this survey in front of us, 17 people saying this is just a political stunt. Call is for the ministries, they should do that. But maximum saying, which is correct according to me also, this is a wake-up call. All organizations must implement BCM. Thank you very much. And BCM means implementing BCM means implementing risk management as well. I'm looking at the watch. skipping few slides which I had thought I would talk about. But quickly, resilience also coming into picture. While you talk of risks, resilience coming into picture, and this point is from the WEF report itself. People may ask me, so Daman, what is the way forward? So quickly, according to me, this is the way forward. Start from risk management. Some people, some organizations would claim, Daman, we have been doing this for 3 decades. Good, but no one is perfect, and there is no end. So keep doing, please. Move on to enterprise risk management. Maybe IRM also, integrated risk management. Move to governance, risk and compliance. And again, this perhaps has been very well established, GRC, very well established for a decade, at least in many organizations. So we'll have to check, look at our own organization. If not, then start. If yes, then continue and keep moving to the next step. Move to business continuity management, move to operational resilience management, and ultimately what we need to have, organizational resilience. This is the way forward according to me. 4-step approach, understand the concept. Seeds have been sown today. You may say, Daman, this was not enough, and I would agree with you. So we will do more. Please ask me or anyone else. There are so many sources. We will do more. Run an assessment to see the current position within your organization, where you stand. Drop implementation plan. Nothing works without plan. And start. The first step is the most difficult step, to start the journey. We know the law of inertia. Start, measure, continue improving. This is the 4-step approach according to me. Last words, which is a poem about risk. Now, who could believe that there could be a poem about risk, which I have not written, but I couldn't even find out who wrote it. Interesting question is that the poem is interesting, but I have added my commentary to each line. So I'll show you one line of the poem and my commentary quickly, and then we'll be winding up. The risk, according to that poem, the line, and my commentary, the man's commentary. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To laugh is to risk appearing the fools. The man is laughing, that means the man is fool. That's the risk the man has. My commentary is, you must laugh though. Nothing wrong in laughing. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. Weeping helps letting it out. It's not wrong to, it's not incorrect to weep, if required sometimes. To reach for another, asking for help, for example, seeking help, is to risk involvement. People will get involved in me. But this is also collaboration. Collaboration is very important and is part of organizational resilience also. To expose your feeling is to risk exposing your true self. To expose your feeling is to risk exposing your true self. Be your true self. So we should not forget, we should not miss this. We need to be truthful. To place your ideas, your dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. We hide, right? My belief. We do this in organizations also. This is one of the biggest risks in the organizations, which is against collaboration, which is against innovation, which is against risk management, etc. So to place your ideas, your dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. Someone else will steal your idea, my idea. The most foolish idea, this is my commentary, the most foolish idea is the one that does not come out and is not tested. To love is to risk not being loved in return. We all expect something in return. So that's a risk. So I don't love anyone because I'm not sure whether the person will return my love or not. Love, if you like to love, simple, and love what you do. Very important according to me. Love what you do. To live is to risk dying. Death is inevitable though. Live to your full potential. To believe is to risk despair. It's give and take journey, give and take story. If you don't believe others, others won't believe you. As simple as that. To try is to risk failure, but the failure is the key to success, so you must try. But risk must be taken Because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. I agree. But know your appetite. My appetite to take risk. It may be 5 rupees for me, it may be 500 for you, it may be 5,000 for someone. So we all have different risk appetites, even at individual level, even if we talk of our organizations. So the step, I said first step in art of managing risk is to know, and I gave you some resources, identify, and also knowing my risk appetite is very important. The people who risk nothing, do nothing, have nothing, are nothing. I agree. Be something. Something is better than nothing. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, live. My definition of a resilient organization: risk managing, learning, and continually improving organization is a resilient organization. So risk management is an integral part of a resilient organization. Most likely, this is the last one. They may avoid suffering. Who are they? Who don't take risks. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, live. And my commentary: build personal resilience by managing risks. Resilient people make resilient organizations. So all these two, resilient people make resilient organization is my wording. And the last one I already said, the definition, risk managing, learning, and continually improving organization is a resilient organization. Chained by their attitudes, they are slaves. They have forfeited their freedom. Use your attitudes positively to become resilient. Only a person who risks is free. Let us move from political freedom to financial, mental, and physical freedom. This is where I would like to stop. And the last poll in front of you. Were these discussions useful? Can you launch this poll, please? And you have only two options: yes, no. No, it's not bad. No one is perfect in this world. I'll be happy to have no's also so that I improve. And when I say I, including the organizers also, we will improve if we find something missing. No one is perfect. I'm a lifelong learner. Learning is forever. Please have your, someone said great session. Thank you very much. Responses better in the poll. And we can close and share the results also. Any questions now? Giving it back to the organizer, or later on, whenever, ever. Responses, yes, thank you very much. There's no. Encouraging, great effort. I'll say this is a great effort. 64th Professor Hoda said, perhaps no one has done. I do not know, but I wouldn't mind to accept that no one has done. This is great effort. Organizing so many continuously, week after week, is not easy. It's not just organizing that, there's a platform available. Inviting the speaker, selecting the topic, then the marketing, inviting participation, because no event, even if it's free, no event will be successful without you, all the participants. So thanks from me to you, and my contacts in front of you. Feel free to write to me anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I must say it was a very well formed and an insightful session, which would have enlightened the participants about the intricacies of risk management and risk prevention. And the last slide, I must say, it was very motivating for all of us. So I would like to now take upon some questions which our participants have raised on. So I'll be taking.
Okay.
Shall I, sir? Shall I take the question, sir?
Yeah, please take. Mr. Daman,
Okay.
we are taking questions, few
Yeah,
questions.
I have time.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first question to you, sir, is rapid advancements in technology are leading to new age of risk analytics. Repeat, rapid advancements in technology are leading to new age of risk analytics. And elaborate your answer about this.
So answer would be yes, it is. So I believe we did. Dr. Mukhopadhyay, I believe, is the senior most person on the in the webinar today. Without knowing others, I'm just saying because he is visible. Maybe at his time we had heard this. The pros and cons. There used to be debates right from, I believe, primary school, whether technology is boon or bane, right? So there are two sides of the coin. It's good, no doubt about it, but it brings with itself some risks. And that's why this art of managing this becomes so important. We need to know appropriate usage of technology is required, no doubt about it. Thanks for raising the question.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, sir. The next question I received was people want to know, participants want to know how to stay up to date on the best practices of risk management.
This is the platform, IEEE.
Yeah,
This is the best, easiest I could say, yes. But I'm saying this on IEEE platform on behalf of IEEE Delhi section, at least I would say, any questions, please feel free to write to me. Response is guaranteed to the best of my capabilities. Whatever I know is available to you all. Ayushi, do we have more questions?
Yeah, Ayushi.
Yeah.
Please.
Sorry, I think there was some technical glitch.
Okay.
So one of our participants wanted to know that if there is any future in risk management, risk management, as he is from electrical engineer side. So he wanted to know about the future for the
Thank you
same.
very much. I was electrical engineer by qualification. Whether we like it or not, I'm not saying good, bad, or ugly, but I never did E of electrical engineering. That may happen in life. I'm not talking of three idiots. Maybe I was one of those, right? But it may happen. It may happen. There is huge scope. I'm saying it's increasing. Not only risk management, I will say associated also. So I'll name risk management, business continuity management, crisis management, operational resilience, organizational resilience. In between, with respect to risk itself, maybe ERM, enterprise risk management, governance, risk, and compliance. There is huge scope.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
But it's not easy. And then I'll say even electrical engineering is not easy. Electronics engineering is not easy. Computer science is not easy. I need to put my heart and soul in whatever I am doing. Then only I will be successful.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir, for answering us and for giving us such an enlightening session. I would now request Professor Huda, sir, to please present a certificate to Mr. Damandev, sir, as a token of remembrance from our end. Sir, please.
Mr. Daman, fantastic and simply outstanding session.
Thank you very much.
This topic is so versatile. You have discussed almost all possible spectrum, right from the hardcore technology to what the business people needs to what almost everyone need, and that too at the backdrop of COVID-19. I always keep saying, आज मैंने शेर नहीं सुनाया ना, सुब्रता सर ने सोचा होगा आज हुदा जी ने शेर नहीं
आज नहीं सुनाया।
तो मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि
सुनना
जो
चाहिए,
चाहते
एक
हो
तो होना
चिरागों
चाहिए।
को हम सफर रखना। जी सर, चैलेंज बहुत बड़ा है कि if we do not have risk management in place, then probably nothing will work according to our plan. And that what possibly we are seeing that Ukraine was dependent on so many countries, NATO's and America. No one is helping them, and alone is standing before such a superpower country. So risk management is very important. That is how चार पंक्तियां बहुत पहले मेरे स्टूडेंट लाइफ में लिखी थी कि जो चाहते हो चिरागों को हम सफर रखना, जो चिराग हम दिया जलाते हैं उसे बुझने का बहुत खतरा है, और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा रिस्क मैनेजमेंट प्लान उसे बुझने न दे, हमेशा जलता रहे। तो शायर की जबान में सिमुलेट किया है कि जो चाहते हो चिरागों को हम सफर रखना, जरा हवा के इरादों पे भी नजर रखना, वल्नरेबिलिटीज कैसे आ रही हैं, चैलेंजेस रिस्क के कैसे आ रहे हैं, उन पे नजर रखना। तो जो चाहते हो चिरागों को हम सफर रखना, जरा हवा के इरादों पे भी नजर रखना। अब उजड़ गए हो तो ये शिकायतें कैसी, अब उजड़ गए हो तो ये शिकायतें कैसी, कहा था किसने कि तूफान की सद पे रहना। ये यूक्रेन को देखकर मुझे हमेशा याद आता है कि किसने कहा था कि इतना बड़ा रिस्क सामने लेना विदाउट प्रॉपर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट प्लान। और इसका जवाब उसी जमाने में अल्लामा इकबाल, अपनी सेंचुरी के बहुत बड़े पोएट, उनसे बड़ा उनके उस पूरे सेंचुरी में कोई नहीं, उन्होंने दिया था कि मैं आंधियों की जमानत लिखा के आया हूँ, मैं आंधियों की जमानत लिखा के आया हूँ, मेरा चिराग हवाओं के पास रख देना। Naman, the way you have explained risk management was absolutely fantastic, and we will definitely would like to have a
with
much
with your
detailed
permission,
session on.
with
Oh
your
yes, yeah,
permission,
yes, please,
well,
yes,
I
please.
can't reach that height where you are, लेकिन अभी अभी मेरे दिमाग में कुछ आया कि एक लाइन उसमें मैं ऐड कर दूं, मे बी
Oh
दिस इज
yes, yes,
इनोवेशन और
yes, please.
इम्प्रोवाइजेशन, कि इस देश के लिए, इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वेयर एवर यू आर, प्रहरी बन के खड़े रहना, दैट्स रिस्क मैनेजमेंट। आंखें
Correct,
खोल के खड़े रहना, दैट इज रिस्क
correct,
मैनेजमेंट, which is
correct.
looking forward into when we say horizon scan, when you have
Yes,
your eyes open to coming up risks. Thank you very much.
yes. एंड ये वेबिनार जो हमने सुब्रता सर से डिस्कशन के बाद लास्ट जून 2020 शुरू किया था, वो भी एक रिस्क मैनेजमेंट का प्लान था। बिकॉज आई रेड इन वन ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल जर्नल इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल 2020, after the lockdown was declared almost everywhere in the world, that the kind of the COVID pandemic which has started hitting and disrupting everything, people will, most of the people will go under depression. So we thought that this is one of the way in which we can keep engaging people into the learning process, keeping sharing, disseminating information, engaging them into the learning process, so that people should go right into the acceptance phase instead of going into the depression phase, and understand this is the new normal life. And that's how we started this webinar. This was also the part of taking care of our fellow professionals from different parts of the country and abroad. And that's how we started
Exactly.
this. So this
Exactly.
certificate is not for the purpose of certification, is simply an acknowledgement and remembrance that once you see, you can remember that you have been part of this wonderful and fantastic webinar. Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. Once again, a request to Professor Hoda and Dr. Mukhopadhyay sitting here, two of the most senior people in IEEE Delhi section. My suggestion, while we have been doing these activities with few other societies other than IEEE, other professional
CSI,
bodies, we call
IT,
them,
IST.
right? Yes. So it may be difficult to claim, but what I'm putting a suggestion is, let's write a paper about this activity. Submit it to the government of India, to United Nations. This could be winning some awards, definitely. This is
Certainly,
my
we'll do that.
suggestion.
We'll do that. जितना हम कर सकते हैं उतना करेंगे. So thank you so much, Mr. Daman. The friends, with this we come to conclude this and draw curtains on this webinar with this note, with this commitment that next Saturday, that is 4th of March, we are back with another webinar. If you have not registered, please do register with this. एंड जो मिस्टर दमन ने लास्टली बात कही है, हम जितना कुछ कर सकते हैं उतना करना चाहिए, अपने फेलो कलीग्स, फेलो प्रोफेशनल्स, फेलो सिटीजन्स के लिए हमेशा खड़े रहना चाहिए. इसलिए जो नई पंक्तियां पीछे लिखी थी वो इसी पर्पस के लिए लिखी थी कि कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा. जो वक्त हमें मिला है उसमें जितना काम कर सकते हैं कर लें, कि कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा. कल न हम होंगे न कोई गिला होगा, बस सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा. जो भी वक्त मिला है आओ अच्छे से गुजार लें, जो भी वक्त मिला है आओ अच्छे से गुजार लें, जाने कल जिंदगी का क्या फैसला होगा. So thank you so much. The stage is now with my convener Ayushi, Dr. Ritika, and backend team Mr. Uttam. They will be helping you to get your certificates. If you have filled up the feedback form and have not got the mail in your mailbox, you can write your name and email ID, and then the team members working in this facilitation desk now will try to understand that what are the problems, will guide you. But please understand, certificates you have to generate. Our team member cannot generate your certificate because it is a completely automated process. So once you fill up the feedback form, fill up your data accurately, see to it that if you have a Gmail ID, write that Gmail ID, because this is a Google API, so it works seamlessly with Gmail, may not work that seamlessly with other servers like Yahoo or official server. So thank you once again, and we'll meet on next Saturday. Thank you so much, Mr. Daman.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And thank you so much, Lata sir.
Thanks. Bye-bye.